So your new film, Duchess, just come out, or it's just about to come out. Now you've co-written this with director Neil Marshall, and I've got to say, with all the roles that I've seen you in before, this surely has got to be the most potty-mouthed role you've ever played.
Oh yes, yes. It's and probably one of the funniest roles I've played as well. From something that I co-wrote and produced, like something that I could that's come from, me and Neil writing it together. So it was nice to really have a character that we developed from scratch in this genre.
Yeah.
The Reckoning and the Lair, they're very Reckoning's a horror drama, the Lair's an action sci-fi horror. So Duchess was something very, very different for us. So yeah, I'm excited though. I'm excited for people to see it.
How did you feel about sort of the language in it? Because it's not just F-bombs you're dropping, it's C-bombs in there as well.
I think it's part, I mean, I think you have to remember it's a gangster movie.
Yeah.
So there's no rules when it comes to language and violence. I mean, the big inspiration for this movie was Scarface and Goodfellas and classics, just classic gangster movies. And I think that it kind of comes with it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what you're into. And I just think that's what Scarlett would say. So we were like, let's do it. And we didn't want to, a lot of films today are very vanilla. We didn't want this to be vanilla. We wanted this to be as crazy and outrageous and as bold as possible, to be honest.
Now you've got
And
a great cast in this. You've got Colin Meaney, and also you've got the great Stephanie Beacham. Now, equally, I don't
amazing.
recall Stephanie Beacham ever getting so potty-mouthed and involved in such extreme acts of violence on
Yes,
screen as
yes.
this. Was that part of the appeal for her? Because it's a big change from her days in Dynasty.
Yeah, do you know, I don't know. I mean, she had a lot of fun with it. And she was great, her very beautiful, posh accent with the contrast of the language she had to she had some of the words she had to say was great. And she's kind of like Marlon Brando in The Godfather. She's the Don, she's the bosses of all bosses. So I think it had to be done, it's required. And I think she had a hell of a lot of fun with it.
I would say because she that first scene that we see her in is a particularly gruesome one.
Oh yeah, we had to get a Colombian necktie in there somewhere. Had to be done. Had to be done.
Fair enough. So there are moments in this, and right from the very opening scene where you yourself, you're absolutely covered in blood, absolutely covered in it. So you're on set, you're under hot lights. This must
Yeah.
have been incredibly comfortable, spending hours covered in Kensington gore.
Yes. And there was some night shooting, so that helped. It wasn't as hot then. But yeah, it was very hot when we were filming. But you know what? I just embraced it. I embraced it. That didn't bother me as much when filming. I did get COVID during filming, so that was tough. And so did Neil. So there was other elements that was tough, but the blood is all part of it's all part of the fun.
So how did you cope with that then? If you got COVID, and obviously you are the lead in it,
Yeah, it was very tough. I mean, we had to close down for a couple of days. And yeah, then Neil got COVID, so he had to direct from a tent. So that was very awkward for a good few days. So yeah, it was very, 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 very challenging when that happened.
so as a producer on this, you must have had the financiers pulling their hair out about it.
Yeah, yeah, it was tough, and it cost us quite a lot of money. So, but what can you do? COVID it happened. So, but the main thing is we got through the shoot and we finished it. So, um, yeah, we've
So
got it in the can.
it's a really kind of physical role, this one. Now, the Lair was quite a physical role for you as well. You're fighting in this, you're boxing as well. How easy or difficult was the training for you for this? And what was the most difficult scene action-wise for you to do?
Yes, it's very interesting because the layer was a lot more action heavy than this. Um, but I'd never boxed before this. So, and I had like 2 weeks with the stunties to try and, look like I'm a half decent boxer.
Yeah.
One of the most challenging days was when I was filming, when we were filming when the character Philip Winchester, his character Robert McNaughton, comes to visit me in the workout when I'm working out boxing ring, and there's quite a lot of dialogue. So it's me remembering the dialogue and remembering the moves at the same time. So that was a really challenging day for me. I really wanted to make it look as believable as possible. And then it's just remembering. It's kind of like trying to tap your head and rub your belly at the same time, like
Yeah.
remembering lines and punches at the same time. So I would say that was the most challenging, challenging days on set for sure.
Has it ignited an interest in boxing for you and or boxercise, continuing to keep fit that way?
Oh yeah. I mean, I not as much as Scarlett would, but I try and do it like when I can, throw on some boxing gloves. Yeah, it's a great workout, so good. It's I'd say one of the hardest. Talk about keeping the momentum and the adrenaline and the cardio. But it is something that I do actually more. I would like to do it more, but yeah, I love it. It's a lot of fun.
So, as I say, you and Neil have co-written this, and there are uh, some interesting bits of violence in this. There's an especially creative use of a hot iron in one particular scene. Was that you or Neil that came up with that?
Oh no, that was Neil. Yeah, Neil come up with that, and I think it's Duchess isn't a action hero or a spy. She's just a normal go out for revenge. And I think, just to make it, I think, what would you do if you wanted to? I don't want to give away any spoilers, but if you
Yeah,
wanted to get information from someone, oh, there's a hot iron. I know what I'm going to do. So she kind of just used what she had in the scene in the moment. It's nice because there's some refreshing beats in there like that I don't think you've seen before in film. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah. I mean, there are a number of kind of deaths in this. There's what feels to be like a nod to Driller Killer at one point. Um,
Driller Killer. I haven't seen that. Driller Killer. Okay.
yeah, it does what it says on the tin, basically.
Driller Killer. Good
Um,
title.
in the it's that sort of sequence which involves the hot iron as well. But also
Mhm.
there's uh the opening scene where how the demise of the villain later on in the film in that is particularly a gory one as well. So were there deaths that you came up with or sequences that you came up with that you thought we can't do this?
Mm, it was a very challenging, ambitious movie as is because we were on a budget and we there was quite a lot of explosions and guns and action, but I think we kind of got it, to be honest. Oh, I love the tiger. I think that's just great. I didn't think if we were going to be able to find a tiger in the Canary Islands, but we did, so that was great. Um, so overall, I think the boxing was a big one. Like, God, can I do this? Um, Especially that one scene where I'm boxing and he's watching me box. Um, but yeah, I think we just about did it.
'Cause
There's nothing that I can think of that I was worried about us not doing.
the tiger's great in it. It's a beautiful animal, but I kind of noticed the way that it's shot that no one's ever in the same shot as the tiger. Were you kept
Yeah.
sort of very much apart deliberately?
Oh yeah, movie magic, movie magic. When dealing with animals and babies, especially tigers, you have to be you have to be very careful. I wanted to pet it because it was beautiful, but no, I couldn't go near it. It was between a lion or a tiger, and I kind of was like, I like a lion, lioness, but Neil was like, no, tiger looks so much better on screen. Like, it's just, I was like, okay, and then it does look
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
yeah, it's a
Uh,
stunning creature.
and then my dog has a little cameo. Come here, Molly. She's at the bus stop.
Ah,
There's
right.
there's someone holding her at the bus stop. So that's very cute. So you can see Molly in there as well.
That's her 15 minutes of fame.
Yes, had to get her in there.
So the way that the Duchess plays out and the way that it ends does suggest that there's potentially a sequel or a franchise in the character. Would that be right? Is there any plans? Is there anything in the offing along that lines?
Most definitely. I think Duchess Part One is a rise to power. And then it's almost like, okay, then where's she going to go next? She's just hit the top. Or is it the top? So there's so many directions we can take this character, and there's so many. I would love to play her again. I love to, and I'm hoping we all get the opportunity to do so. It depends how the audience respond to it. I'm hoping we're going to get a good response.